Yo, 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 what's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, a Knick fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop, hit that notification bell. All right, let's get into the video real quick. Right there, you see it. You're not a leader. And I know some might say, how is this Knicks related? Because, he had an interview, which I would say autobiography, if there's anything, because it's his own company. It's a long story. But he dropped some things about it. Basically, he was talking about LeBron James throughout the interview, and the conversation was about being the GOAT, being the greatest of all time, and would he ever be in that category. Now, let's not start lying and not say Kevin Durant is not one of the best NBA players, not one of the best NBA players in the game today, and going to go down in history as one of the best NBA players. But as Charles Barkley pointed out, and as I'm going to prove in this video, he is not a leader. And could he have gotten us to the playoffs or the Eastern Conference Finals? I don't know. With that being said, let's go into his video real quick that make this Knicks relevant in my opinion, and then we're gonna get back to Charles Barkley, and I'm gonna prove to you that he's not a leader. And in his own words, whether he realizes it or not, he proves to me that he's not a leader. All right, let's jump into that clip. It's not an audio, it's not a video clip, but it is an audio clip. So let's get to that clip real quick.
Because let's say this: had you gone to the Knicks after the Bay, right, and you never won a championship ever, but you went to the conference finals, maybe went to the finals, went to the second round of playoffs, I actually think you'd be in that combo quicker
Yeah.
than because of what you did. And you know what's funny? And do me a favor: will you tell the camera and whatever Knick fans will watch this that I wanted you to go to the Knicks, bro?
You
Please.
definitely did. You definitely did. More than anything.
Like, you've left me so. I'm on an island in New York right now. Like, I really like, because then all of a sudden I was all in Brooklyn. Like, I left
And I know
42
that was so hard for you.
years
It was so hard to do.
of an obsession.
And that's why I love you so much, because I knew, and that's probably the toughest thing about anything.
That was tough. That was tough for us.
It was.
That was tough for us because you thought I had blinders on. You thought I had like whatever, like rose-colored
Like
glasses.
Nick Blinders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I thought that like, you know, I was just like, dog, just come to the garden.
You were, if anybody was like my dad, you love the Knicks.
Oh yeah.
The boardroom. Tell me what y'all think. Well, anyway, this is why I said this Knicks related. You know what I'm saying? He brung the Knicks up in his interview, and the whole conversation was based on will he ever be considered in that conversation of the great, the goatest of the all the time. Excuse me, not the great, the goat. Um, I don't know. That's for history, for fans and whoever to decide. But in my opinion, I happen to agree with Charles Barkley. He's not a leader, and I'm not going to say I would not take him on his team. But right now, no. I'm not a big follower of Twitter, but there is a guy on Twitter, Nick's Beast, and I should have followed you because I'm using your post, and I happen to agree with him. I'd rather see the New York Knicks continue to grow and build organically than mortgage our future for a man who literally thought he was too cool for the orange and blue. We don't need you. And I agree. I definitely agree. And then you get back to the fact that what Charles Barkley said is the most definitely the truth. He's not a leader. And at that time, at that point, we didn't need him because he's not a leader. So that means he wouldn't have came here. He wouldn't have been we'd have been in the same position. Now, if I take a step back and talk about the way the team is right now, and we don't have to give up much, with Jalen Brunson on his team and Julius Randle. That's right, you heard what I said. Julius Randle. I would take Kevin Durant on his team because of his explosiveness, because he's a guaranteed bucket. I know he's getting up there in years, but look, we just took a chance on Bogdanovich. But yes, I would take him. And you know why? Because I know he's not a leader. I know he's not a leader. And he's never been a leader. He's always been that guy. And some might say he's always been a third wheel, but he's always been number two. And it started since he got into the NBA. Back when he got drafted to OKC. Y'all gonna tell me that wasn't Russell Westbrook's team? Y'all gonna tell me that when it was James Harden, excuse me, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook, who was the man on that team? Who was the man? Let's be real. Let's be real. And this guy had a look at them that trio right there, and he couldn't get it done there. He couldn't get it done there. So what did he do? After getting humiliated in the playoffs, what did he do? Y'all know what he did. He went over to Golden State. So y'all gonna tell me he was the leader on Golden State? Maybe he was over Clay, but I still would make him third because trust me, Draymond Green probably had more say than him. Was more of a vocal leader than he was. So what I'm trying to say, if he would have came to the New York Knicks at the time he came, who knows? But I know he wasn't enough of a leader, and I have another clip of that video to prove to you that he even said it in his own words. He may not realize it. He may not have realized it, but he did. So let's before I go on proving that he has never been a leader and always the second or third option on the team, let's go to that clip real quick, and then we'll break it down even further.
I was watching a random ass Vinny Testaverde doc.
That's
And
random.
you know, when I watch somebody, I just go in deep for like at least a day or two of like pause.
Sorry, shout
Pause
out to
that.
Cam Amazing.
Pause that. I go in deep dive of like who somebody is. Like I think Vinny played maybe 20 something years.
Well, that's crazy.
Like,
And he
if
had an
you-
Achilles injury.
And he had an Achilles injury. I think he played over 20 years.
He
And
played a long ass time.
Vinny, right?
Yeah.
He played a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of other quarterbacks and football players that play 16, 17, 18 years. And it's just like you truly you don't get it until you hit like 15, 16 years in the league, how hard it is to wake up every day, knowing what you know, and still come to work and still having to mesh with other people who are just experiencing this for the first time or don't know as much as you know. And you still get up and want to work as hard as you can, be the best teammate, and that's greatness to me.
All right. Now, what do y'all take away from that clip? You know what I took away from that? And it came to that part when he said you've been in the league for 15 years and blah, blah, blah. And you come in and you got to work with guys that just don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? A true leader relishes that. A true leader comes in and say, you know what? Y'all doing it this way. This is how it's supposed to be done. So right there in that statement, he don't even realize he told the world, I'm not a leader. Charles Barkley was right. I'm just a guy to go along. Yeah, I'm gonna get you points, but I am not a leader. And as I said, you're gonna tell me he was a leader on Golden State. He was leading Golden State. Let's slide over to Brooklyn. Let's slide over to Brooklyn. Now you're gonna tell me Kyrie Irving may be small, but he is an alpha male. That's why he couldn't survive with LeBron James. You cannot put two alpha males in the same room and don't think it's gonna not be an outcome of some type of combat. Kyrie ain't have to worry about that with Kevin Durant. Nor did he have it with Ben Simmons, but that's a different story. But he didn't have to worry about that with Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant know his role. He's always going to be a goddamn second in command. I was thinking of what's his name? I was gonna say Scotty, but it ain't Scotty. It's Mr. Spock. He's always gonna be number two, and in some cases, yes, in my opinion, some cases he's gonna be number three. Because now, when James Harden came over to the Brooklyn Nets, he was running the show. And excuse me, Kyrie still ain't had more say so than Kevin Durant. And I know and what I mean by say so, I don't mean in the management. I mean on the court. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen how the ball played out, and you seen that you cannot have two dominant males once again. Alpha males on the same team. Why you think James Harden went? Y'all can talk all the other trash y'all want to say, Dale Murray, all that's Philadelphia. Y'all could talk about everything y'all want to say about the Brooklyn Nets and why they split up. But you had two dominant males, alpha males, and James Harden and Kyrie Irving. So it wasn't going to work. Kevin Durant, who was Kevin Durant? He's number two. He's your second in command. He's not a threat to your position as number one. And that's how Kyrie saw him. That's just my opinion. So if he would came to the New York Knicks back then, he would have been the leader because we wouldn't have had nobody on the team that matched his skills, his talent. So we'd have looked to him, fans, the teammates, the coach, the organization would look to him to be the leader. And he just said it. He's not that person. He cannot carry that weight. And if you think I'm wrong, what happened after that? He went over to Phoenix. Now y'all gonna tell me that he was going over Chris Paul. Now with Booker, and Booker had been the alpha for so long, the number one dog on his team. Yeah, you gonna tell me he was leading that team? He was leading that team? No, he's not a leader. And then to top it off, once they got rid of Chris Paul, who knows why, they brung in Bill. So he has never been the position where he had been the top dog. I don't care, you may be the top scorer, and in some cases, not even that. Well, no, Steph. He's not a leader. So if you think about it, if he'd have came to the New York Knicks when at the point that we all was clamoring for him before Jalen Brunson, before Julius Randle, do you think he'd be able to lead us to a championship? Matter of fact, do you think he'll be able to lead us to the playoffs with the roster we had? Because he's not a leader. He had one out the second year if he'd have stayed healthy long enough. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier in the video, with Jalen Brunson on his team, I would take him on his team because he's not a leader. JB is going to be the leader, and then there's going to come my man Julius Randle. Then it might, if we can keep him, Anunoby. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would give up the rest of the pieces for Durant. Don't get me wrong. Mitchell Robinson, you gone. Hart, you gone. Precious, bye. Bogdanovic, bye. I'll try to keep Brunson, Anunoby, and Julius Randle and build with that core. You know what I'm saying? But we know who would be the leader of that group. It wouldn't be Kevin Durant. It wouldn't be Kevin Durant. And like I said, like my boy said, I should have and I'm gonna have to go back on Twitter and I'm gonna have to X, and I'm gonna hit that following button and give a big shout out to Knicks Beast because I agree with you. I wouldn't give up my whole core, but the guys that I just named, yeah, I would give them up. But I also agree with Charles Barkley. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace.